What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin Cash, BCH, BTC. Shout out to the Dragon Riders in the House of the Dragon. Hit that like button, subscribe, and thank you all for being here. It is the 25th day of June, and here we are sitting at about. Oh, wait, this is the BTC chart. We're going to go over the BTC chart. We're sitting at about 194 right now for BCH, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 194.7. I think we're due for a bounce, you guys. I think we really are due for a bounce. We did a lot of story time with the last video. I want to keep it predominantly TA oriented on this video, so let's get into it, okay? In case I said it only one time, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all. So with this chart, hold on. We don't want the BCH BTC on Coinbase. We want it on Binance. Okay, there we go. BCH BTC because it's got more historical data. But relatively speaking, we look at this daily time frame, and to me, it's abundantly obvious that we are at a low point here, that we are absolutely about to bounce, and the RSI is very telling of that, you guys. I mean, we're getting ready to bounce off this oversold zone. We've got higher lows coming in with lower lows here, bullish divergence that's been formed all the way from here. I mean, just with this isn't too significant, but I would expect that Bitcoin Cash pumps about 10% versus Bitcoin. 10% from roughly $200, that's $20. So we'd be at like 220 soon. Like maybe by the end of today, maybe tomorrow, probably within the next week, 220 and above. We're probably going to see a nice little bounce come in. And what's nice about this bounce is not that it's 10%, right? And 10% actually versus Bitcoin might mean more than 10% in US dollars. That's not the nice part. The nice part is I really do think that as we start to show a bounce, as we start to move higher, we really start to show that we are at a bottom point. And while I don't believe that Bitcoin is providing a double bottom here, I don't believe that's what we're seeing here. I do completely believe that it is acceptable to call this to maybe not call this. What's the word I'm looking for? To be more anticipatory of this being a double bottom. It's still too early. We can go lower. We absolutely can. But it makes a lot more sense because of just the overall path, the overall dynamic that we're on right now. This actually does make a lot more sense. This rounded bottom idea it's beautiful, man. It really is beautiful. We look at the weekly time frame here, and the RSI is just immensely oversold, like the most oversold, if not this, almost the most oversold it's ever been in its life. Stochastics are immensely oversold, some of the most dead that the stochastics have ever looked in its life, and the MACD is also crossed below the zero. I don't know if the MACD is reliable. It might be. I don't know if it is. Personally, like we crossed below the zero here, and we found support. And we moved up higher, and then we crossed above the zero there, and that's when we topped off. We're kind of in this on this weekly time frame, choppy and sideways phase. The MACD actually might not be reliable in this kind of context. The monthly time frame here, we're right around that oversold area. Anytime that we've been here around this oversold area has been a relative low point where we've seen these phenomenal amounts. Let me just show you. Sorry, where we've seen this phenomenal growth come in. Oversold here. Oh, that's not what I thought I was doing. All right, oversold there, oversold there, oversold there. Okay, here we did go lower, but within that 6-month period, we saw a 238% pump versus Bitcoin. Here from a low to the high, we only got a 45% pump versus Bitcoin. But in this low area overall, we did, it took a little bit longer, but we did see something on the lines of a 175% pump versus Bitcoin. It's 175% pump, 238% pump, 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and at the very minimum, we saw a 45% pump versus Bitcoin. And still, even from this low area, we saw that 175% pump overall, right? I think something like that is coming our way, and the exciting thing here is if we apply this minimum pump that we saw here. It's not that it's the minimum. This is the minimum one, but in time, still in this low area, you did see 175% pump. If we see that, we're back around this high point here. We're really running and that's the low one too. If we saw the high one, we're really running the possibility of seeing a higher high in Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin on the monthly time frame on a macro scale that we've never seen before. We've just never seen it before. We're running that as a possibility. That is very much on the table. And if you think about it like this, if we're talking about from here going to a higher high, guys, this is a double bottom and a half. Bitcoin Cash is setting up to have a robust year in 2027. Actually, this could be really, really cool to see. What was it that I wanted to do just now? Ah, that's what I wanted to do. MACD's getting ready to cross above the zero, all good things. What I wanted to do was check out the ribbon. The ribbon's still bearish, technically. We are showing more disrespect on it than we had before, and typically, as you move sideways, that's whenever the ribbon is less respected, to be completely fair. We are seeing higher levels being achieved in the ribbon than we've seen before, with these highs, even with these lower highs, but we're still in an area that's not too exciting as far as that's concerned. Yeah, the weekly, again, just showing the disrespect here. The fact that the ribbon, every time you cross up, you're moving down. Every time you cross down, you're moving up. That also just shows that we're in this kind of wonky, sideways, choppy land of nothingness. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Daily time frame, bearish enough, but coming up. All right, that's all I really wanted to look at with the BCH BTC chart. BCH USD now, Coinbase, RSM. The RSM is just the RSI stochastics MACD. I'm super original. RSM, baby. There we go. Looking at this here, volume's dying off as we're moving lower. This whole move happened with a very low amount of volume, right? This looks like an absurd amount of volume here. It's really not. We've done this before. We've gone over this, right? You zoom out, you look at it for what it is, and it's actually not much volume. It's really not that much volume at all. So zooming back in here, looking at this for what it's worth. Moving down without a lot of volume. All the volume came in at the low levels, and as we've gone lower in these low levels, we've actually seen declining volume. That gets me excited. That makes me think we're going to see some recovery, some decent recovery. Plus the BTC charts showing bullish divergence. The BCH BTC chart is, or BCH USD chart is doing basically the same thing. You look ripe for a bounce here, you guys. We look really, really good. Weekly time frame. Finding a low area here at this low area here at this low area here where we found support historically, good enough in my opinion. From a low here, from the last bear market low to the bull cycle high at the golden ratio zone there. All these things just tying in together. It sets you up, man. It really sets you up for a Cinderella story if I've ever seen one. Looking at this here on a weekly time frame, you're pretty oversold. I think you're the most oversold you've ever been on the weekly RSI. Stochastics are very oversold. That MACD's been red for a while on the weekly time frame. It's not that these are anything to brag about, but it's something to just think the tide's going to shift soon, right? You're the most oversold you've ever been. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good thing. Stochastics have been oversold for a long time. That's not a good thing. Look at what it brought us. MACD, same thing. But you don't typically stay in these areas forever. You typically do see some revolutions going on, right? So that's what we're expecting here is a little bit of a green revolution, a green dragon rising, and I would expect that we do see some recovery from this high point here to this low point here. And that's another thing actually. We take this low to high. You've actually hit the first fib target, the 1272 here. You're floating above. You actually didn't interact with anything. Now we have something to actually validate as a support zone with this 1272 being achieved, 189 there. With this high to low here, the minimum expectation for any kind of retracement is the 236, but typically you don't stop there, right? If you stop there, that's really bad. Typically, it doesn't have to be, but it might take a second if you don't get above there. Typically, for me, I expect that we go to the 382, which is at $300, and also whenever you go to the 382, you typically wick above it and then close below it. So something around 300 or just above 300 might be where we go. That makes sense to me. Prior areas of support, you could wick a little bit through those areas and then boom, there you go. Kind of at these closing levels of support here, closing levels of support there, right above $300, right around $300. Find support for resistance there, come back down, find support. Maybe we can move up. Maybe we come back down. We get a true double bottom overall here on a weekly time frame. We'll see. In that time, I would expect that BCH BTC is growing. We might get a double bottom on the BCH USD chart, but the BCH BTC chart probably is growing to some degree. If not the $300 level, then it's completely acceptable to consider targets around $411 to $453 from here as well. It's completely acceptable to consider that. So Food for thought. I don't really think there's anything else to talk about. It's a great time to buy Bitcoin Cash, guys. That's, I've been saying that every day now since really since June began. It's a phenomenal time. Even if the price was at $300, it's a great time to buy. You just can't go wrong. And not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if I was buying Bitcoin Cash anywhere, anywhere from here and on, my thoughts are I'm buying this to not sell this. I'm buying this so that I can take $1,000 and turn it into $100,000. I'm buying this to turn $100,000 into $10 million. Like then maybe I'll start to take some profits. I'm holding this thing for the long term because it's worthy of that. It's worthy of that. Yes. Yes, Bitcoin Cash will see a 100x. A 100x, even then, it's probably not. I mean, take profits if you want. Don't let me stop you. But man, even at 100x, that's such small thinking. What, $20,000, 100x? Try 1,000x. Try a 1,000x. Genuinely, that's 1,000 becoming $1,000,000, right? I very much believe in that. If there was any coin that I had to bet my life on that would make a 1,000x, if it wasn't for Bitcoin Cash, I would be rolling the dice, guys. I would just be guessing. I'd be guessing. But this thing, within our lifetimes, you are at tremendous opportunity right here. It's phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. When is it going to do a 1,000x? When will it be worth $200,000? I don't know, man. Won't be worth $200,000 before 2030, probably. Probably sometime between 2030 to 2040, if I really had to guess. It's 2026. Can you buy something and hold it for 14 years? Can you buy something and hold it for 25 years? If it means getting that 1000x. Some people work and they put their money into a IRA, a 401k, they work for some type of pension. And then there's the degenerates like us that take all that money from the traditional financial system. We say, screw it, we take it ourselves. And we put it in something like this, and it, sooner or later you'll have that retirement fund, I would think. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Nothing is promised. Anything can happen. And the purpose of Bitcoin Cash isn't for long-term storage. It's a benefit. The purpose is to use it as cash. And I do. Whenever I'm transitioning, whenever I'm sending funds from exchange to exchange, I use Bitcoin Cash. It's cheaper, it's faster, right? You can use stable coins too. I use stable coins too. I tip people in Bitcoin Cash. I genuinely do tip people in Bitcoin Cash if they accept it. If they're, I'll be like, oh, I don't have any cash on me, but if you want, I could set you up right now with, I can show you how to get this crypto wallet. All you gotta do is hook it up to your bank account and you can withdraw it if you want to. And then I know there's a lot of people who are a lot more prolific with their spending of Bitcoin Cash as cash, and we need more of that. But that's the essence of it. The essence of Bitcoin Cash is digital peer-to-peer electronic cash. But because it's that very valuable thing, there is tremendous potential here for long-term holders as well. There's nothing wrong with having a long-term hodl bag and having a short-term bag that you can trade with, that you can tip with, that you can spend, right? There's, what was it? Is it BCH maps? Bitcoin Cash maps. Somebody posted it on x.com the other day. Is it Bitcoin maps? Bitcoin.com? It might be this one. There might be another one too, but you can it can show Bitcoin Cash maps or interactive directories that allow you to locate physical merchants, online shops, and Bitcoin ATM terminals. Yeah. 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 Bitcoin Cash, peer-to-peer electronic cash, bitcoincash.org. Anyways, food for thought. I got nothing else. I would give you a shout out, whoever it was yesterday that did that. Let me see. Hold on. Let's see. That is just creepy looking, man. Loading. It's loading, and we're waiting. And we're going to my profile, and at the risk of my own embarrassments, we're going to look at my likes. Your likes are private. Only I can see them. UK weather explained in RuneScape terms. Oh, I love RuneScape, man. I love it so much. Oh yeah, here, I did. This guy. That's why I couldn't remember his name. BCH Sun. There we go. I bet most BCH users didn't even know that this website exists. I didn't. BCHmap.org. Yeah. I didn't know it exists. That's cool. It's pretty cool. Discover BCH map, baby. Anyways, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.